Smart people eventually discover something mildly insulting. Most people asking for an explanation are not waiting to be enlightened. They are waiting to see whether the decision can still be changed. That realization usually arrives during a very ordinary conversation. You say, "I'm not going." Someone asks, "Why not?" And for once, instead of presenting your schedule, childhood, recent blood work, and a small documentary about your energy levels, you simply say, "It's not for me." Then something extraordinary happens. Nothing. No ceiling collapses. No committee arrives. The person says, "Oh," and the conversation continues. It's almost disappointing. You've been preparing legal arguments for years, only to discover there was never a court. I used to explain every decision as though one poorly received choice might affect my permanent record. Why I left early. Why I stayed home. Why I ordered the expensive thing. Why I ordered the cheap thing. Why I was single. Why I was dating that person. That last one did require an investigation. But still, I believed that if I could make people understand every detail, they would approve of the final decision. This was charmingly optimistic, because people rarely hear an explanation and say, "Thank you. That additional context has completely dissolved my personal preferences." No, they say, "Yes, but." There is always a but. "I'm leaving my job." "Yes, but the benefits are so good." "I'm moving somewhere quieter." "Yes, but won't you be bored?" "I don't want to attend Theo's 3-day destination birthday." "Yes, but he's booked a fire dancer." Well, that changes everything. Nothing says intimate friendship like being financially trapped on an island while a stranger performs near an open flame. The smarter a person is, the longer it can take to stop defending their choices. Because intelligence is very good at producing arguments. Give us one raised eyebrow and we'll create a presentation. There'll be context. There'll be nuance. There may be a graph titled, "Factors Contributing to My Decision Not to Attend Brunch." We think a better explanation will end the discussion. It will not. It simply gives the other person a handle to grab. You say you're staying home because you're tired. They say, "You can sleep tomorrow." You say you have work. They say, "Bring your laptop." Every reason becomes a problem they can solve. And now your peaceful evening depends on defeating someone who has mistaken your boundary for a team-building exercise. This is the first reason smart people stop defending their choices. They notice that explanations often weaken perfectly complete decisions. And before we continue, my book The Modern Woman's Guide to Everyday Elegance is a practical read you can finish in an afternoon. Link below. "I won't be there" is a decision. I won't be there because I've had a long week, although I might feel better later, and perhaps I could stop by briefly, is an opening. The other person can hear the door. They only need to place one persuasive foot inside it. "Come for one drink." One drink is one of society's most ambitious lies. One drink has become 4 hours, a shared taxi, and someone called Marcus explaining cryptocurrency near a coat rack. A calm decision gives people nothing to negotiate with. This can feel rude at first, especially if you are considerate. Considerate people often confuse kindness with unlimited access to their reasoning. They feel that every no should arrive wrapped in an apology, tied with context, and accompanied by a complimentary voucher. "I'm so sorry, I would absolutely love to, and normally I would, but this particular week has been completely insane." You don't want to go. That is the entire novel. But saying it plainly feels almost illegal. So we invent respectable reasons. Work, a mysterious appointment, a relative who always seems to be arriving from another country whenever we need to escape dinner. My imaginary relatives travel constantly. They have saved me from weddings, networking events, and one deeply threatening invitation to come over and play board games with the couples. But fictional emergencies create a ridiculous life. Now you must remember who was ill, who was visiting, which child you claim to be collecting despite not having children. At some point, honesty becomes easier simply because the administrative burden of lying is too high. Smart people also stop defending their choices when they notice who asks for explanations and who demands them. There's a difference. A person who cares might ask, "What changed?" They want to understand you. A person who wants authority asks, "But why would you do that?" They want you to understand them. You can hear it in the tone. One question opens a conversation. The other opens a hearing. And somehow, you are both the defendant and the disappointing evidence. I once watched a woman tell a friend that she had decided not to have a large wedding. The friend's face changed. "But won't you regret it?" The woman smiled and said, "Perhaps, but it's still what we've chosen." That answer stayed with me. She didn't promise there would be no regret. She didn't claim her choice was objectively superior. She didn't insult large weddings or mention that half the guests secretly resent buying gifts. She allowed the decision to be imperfect, and still hers. That is another thing smart people eventually understand. A choice does not have to be flawless to belong to you. You can choose the wrong restaurant, the impractical coat, the quiet life, the person your friends don't quite understand. You can even buy a white sofa while owning a dog. Some decisions are less choices and more cries for help, but they remain yours. Constantly defending a choice creates the strange impression that it is valid only if nobody can find a weakness in it. And every choice has a weakness. The exciting job may be unstable. The secure job may be dull. Marriage is risky. So is avoiding it. Children change your life. Not having them changes it too. There is no life so perfectly arranged that another person cannot stand beside it and say, I wouldn't. Wonderful. They don't have to. The shift happens when intelligent people stop trying to win universal approval and start noticing the social cost of requesting it. Because the more urgently you defend a harmless choice, the more it looks as though the other person has jurisdiction over it. This doesn't mean smart people become secretive or cold. They still explain themselves to the people who matter. An explanation can be intimate. It can repair damage. If a decision affects someone else, because I felt like it, is not always the sophisticated masterpiece we imagine. Try it during a divorce settlement and observe the atmosphere. But smart people become selective. They stop giving personal essays to casual critics. They stop submitting applications to people who were never appointed. They stop mistaking someone's surprise for a summons. Smart people stop defending their choices because they've finally seen what happens when they don't. They discover that respectful people accept the answer. Curious people ask a genuine question. Controlling people become irritated. And that irritation is useful information. It reveals that the explanation was never about understanding the choice. It was about checking whether they still had influence over it. Something changes when a person stops placing every decision in the middle of the table for public examination. Others may still judge it. People are wonderfully resourceful that way. They can misunderstand you with almost no information, but they no longer get to confuse judgment with authority. That is the quiet distinction smart people eventually make. Someone may dislike the choice. Someone may question it. Someone may even raise that devastating eyebrow. But disagreement is not jurisdiction. And once you understand that, the need to deliver closing arguments quietly disappears. The choice remains. The room adjusts. And the most revealing person is no longer the one making the decision. It's the one who cannot accept that the decision was never theirs to approve. What have you stopped explaining? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check the links below. Stay classy. Manners matters.